All right, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first Senate Republican press conference of the 115th Congress. We are 2 hours late. I apologize. That was due to unforeseen circumstances surrounding the lower chamber of the Congress. Hopefully, everything's taken care of there. I see we have some notable guests in the audience today. Just like to say congratulations to the newly elected speaker. Like I just extended those remarks on the floor. Same announcement. The committees should be beginning hearings on legislation and any pending nominations before them. Hopefully, they get taken care of in a swift manner. Look forward to the reports by those committees. The House has received the 5 bills, I believe, from the House of Representatives. Those have been submitted to committees. Any amendments that'll be offered there, I'm sure, will be great. And I look forward to seeing whatever comes out of the committee, if the bills are referred to the floor or not. Does anybody else have anything to say before we take questions?
Yeah, I'll say something.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. I'd just like to thank all of y'all for coming and welcome to the first Senate Republicans press conference after the, better leadership has came. Senate Republicans have it in their goal to put the American people first. The last House Republican leadership did nothing but putting the people last as they wanted the vacation for 15 days. Senate Republicans had a concern when they saw the 15-day vacation they wanted us to have. It might sound good to us, the politicians, but it doesn't sound good for the people to have their only representation be gone for 15 days. I think that was absurd, so today, we had the honor to pass the amendment to make that vacation a lot shorter with unanimous consent. So, the concurrent resolution is going to be sent back to the House for them to pass it. So, let's hope that happens, because I speak for all of us. I don't think we want to be, misrepresenting our constituents by being on vacation for 15 days. I think that's utterly ridiculous of the House Majority Leader, the former one that left cowardly with his speaker. I look forward to the new relationship that Senate Republicans and House Republicans will have. I would love to meet with the speaker and the majority leader with some of my leadership, and maybe even the president if he'd like to come on. Just getting to know all of the new leadership and planning ideas for the future. So unless if anybody else would like to speak, I guess we could take some questions. All right, if you have a question, just raise your hand in VC, or you can come up to the podium and get
And make sure you direct your question to who it is for.
Does Mr. Trump, you want to speak?
Yes, I will.
No. He's not going to speak. He's going to ask a question or nothing at all.
Yeah, you're not a senator.
If you have a question, ask your question.
I'm going to ask the question into the podium. Thank you. Alrighty. Well, Drake, move.
No.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
You'll not be speaking in the podium, buddy. You can come up to the podium and ask your question, but you're not going to the podium.
Hang on, let me just,
You have a question or no?
Let me just, Hello?
What's your question?
Alright. Well, my question is, listen, first of all, y'all are doing a great job. Okay. Y'all are doing a great job. Okay, I love this conference. Second of all, I forgot my question. But
God bless you and your vice president are slow. Anyway.
All right.
Pardon?
Are there any other questions?
Pardon?
We have a few people raising their hands. I'm gonna bring up the House Majority Leader to come and ask a question.
Okay.
Oh,
Drake
Mr.
Helms
Leader.
is the most slow senator out there. Let me tell you
All
what.
right, Mr. President.
Right. How are y'all doing today? That's not my question.
Right.
We're
Good,
doing
good. How are you?
Okay, that's good. How do you three, four, Jacob just has his month. How do you four feel about the newly elected leadership in the HRC, and how do you think it would try and make it their best interest to assist in the leadership of the American citizens?
Well, I don't have any complaints about the newly selected leadership. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do. I really don't have anything further to say on that, but I wish them the best of luck. Anybody else want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I will. And like I previously stated, I would love to get a chance to not only meet, but just get to know some of the ideas of House Republican leadership in a private meeting. Hopefully, maybe even with the president, vice president, any cabinet members he'd like to bring or whatnot. The discuss future legislation. Just because I say her name doesn't mean you have to go what. So you could.
Okay.
You could get out. Thank you. Anyway, Trump always wanted to put himself first. Well, anyway, that's why Joe Biden's going to beat you next election. Anyway,
Drake Hayes is a dog and a rhino who is a part of the Washington establishment and deserves to be eradicated.
Enough. Come on.
all right. So
Any other
anyway,
questions?
I'd love to be able to meet with House Republican leadership, hopefully in the near future. But I think this is a great opportunity to strengthen ties and relationships with not only the Senate Republicans but the Senate in general. So, anybody else want to add on to that?
Yeah, I concur with the leader and the gentleman from North Carolina who is not a rhino. Just to make that clear, very conservative. One of the most conservatives out of all of us.
I'm the most conservative, bald-headed man here. So.
Well, I think the former NBA All-Star for his commentary on that. Are there any other questions?
Thank you. That'll be all. You guys have a wonderful night.
You as well.
Me too.
You have a question down there, Tai, whoever you are. You have a question? Senator Kamala. Okay, what's your question?
That is a.
Why do you refuse to work with my fellow Democrats? Well, that's a great question, but the problem is it's not really based on
Real women. Vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal Trump.
It's not really based on facts because the problem is Senate Democrats really aren't showing up to do their job. So we're kind of left to run the show on our own, which I'm okay with because I think we do a pretty fantastic job at it anyways. Red.
Amen. We have a question from here's a Republican senator. I don't know if he wants to ask a question. Just want to be up here.
Or probably just be up here. I see the whip. Francis Underwood has a question, maybe.
Oh, this will be good. Here we go.
Your question.
Boo, it's a Democrat.
How's it going, senators? I have just one question. What is the House or the Senate Republican Conference plan with the newly approved passed bills that is headed to the Senate, particularly Bill 1006 and 1005?
Well, I can't really get into the specifics on what the committees are going to do with each of the bills that were sent to us by the House. But I can assure you the committee chairs will look them over and the committees will do their due diligence on it. You said 105?
So funny.
One more question for the senators.
Okay.
What is your opinion on making children under 18 able to have the legally able to work as adults. What's your opinion on that?
What a stupid question.
I'm not really sure how I feel about the issue right now.
I feel as it's a
is.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I feel as it's
No,
a
go ahead.
state rights issue. A states' rights issue, and of course there needs to be ethical standards. But
Take the podium and answer.
whoever keeps on doing that, it's annoying. Anyway,
It's the owner. He thinks he's funny, but he's not.
well, anyway, as I was saying, I mean, it's really a states' rights issue, honestly. But as I said, states need to abide by ethical standards. But I'm really not opposed to it, unless it's industrial work. But yeah.
Okay, thank you. And this one question goes to Drake Helms, Senator or President.
Okay.
What is your view on Donald Trump calling you a dog?
Well,
Saying you're a part of the Washington establishment.
Fake news.
you know, I've been one of the more vocal, members of Congress who have spoke out against the Rhino Speaker of the House, Ronald McDonald. Also, you may know him as the former mascot for McDonald's.
Yeah.
He did nothing productive for Americans, and I was one of the most vocal people in Congress about him. I didn't ride his dick because, quite frankly, he did nothing to deserve such treatment. He is a rhino, corrupt coward who should have never been in Congress. His most important job should have probably been, being in McDonald's commercials. But, if Trump really feels that way, all I have to say is good luck in 2020. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Okay, last question. I swear it's the last question. What's your response to the House Republican Conference not being able to work bipartisanly with the House Democratic Caucus?
Elaborate.
Look, it's just the nature of if I could tackle this one just really quickly.
Yeah.
You said the House Republicans aren't working with the House Democrats.
Yes. What's your response to that?
I mean, unfortunately, that's just the nature of that institution. The House kind of just swings violently with every swing of the pendulum. Neither majority, regardless of who it is obligated to work with the minority in the House, especially considering the thresholds for legislation being passed is 218 on most everything. Only the Senate has the requirement that we compromise and actually work with the minority on things. So, I mean, it's not a surprise. I would love to see bipartisanship, but that's just not a shock.
Okay, thank you. That's my last question. Thank you for your
All right. Thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? Come on.
I don't think they're.
Oh, maybe one more. All right. Bring up Mr. Chaney. I think he might have one.
I'll invite him. Mr. Leader, how you doing again?
This is rather a personal question for all of you guys.
Sure.
I just want to learn a little bit of background story. Why did you guys become senators? I'm not here to scold you or talk bad about you. I really just want to know.
Drake Hayes is a rhino.
Oh my god, I swear to God, I'm a fucking...
All right, let's hear from some other senators, because I've talked a lot.
Dick Cheney has no dick.
Bruh.
All right, Mr.
At
Marshall,
least
why
it's
don't you
not
go
shriveled
first?
up like yours, Mr. Trump.
Mr. Marshall, you answer first.
Well,
we haven't heard from him, so let's let the man
Well, what
talk.
made me a senator? I'm not
Why'd you
going to say
become
the
a senator?
usual. I'm going to say the usual corny thing is that, of course, I want to serve the people. It's mostly because I had ideas to come to Washington, tax reform, border funding, etc. I think most of my colleagues concur with my thinking. But that's mainly the reason why I went to the Senate. It's nothing. There's no big answer behind it. Nothing but no facade or anything. It's mostly just that. Introduce some policies I want.
Whoever wants to answer next, they can. Who's up here on the stage with us?
I don't know if he has a mic.
If you haven't, I don't know either.
All right.
You might. I don't know.
Good.
You're good.
I joined the Senate. Recently. I'm more in the. Not in the last cycle of senators we hired, but I was. I ran in the 2016 Senate elections because I didn't think there's, a senator yet that truly spoke out against, as President Trump said, the Washington establishment, people who have been here their entire lives and, done nothing on, both sides, and not necessarily the Senate. I'm mainly talking about the House, but the Senate at the end of the day is the upper chamber. We're the more classy of the two chambers of Congress. We've seen full evidence of it happen in the House. They have not done anything besides this last session with, the new leadership they have. And
hell yeah, drain that swamp! Woo!
So real. But yeah, there's not a lot of people in Congress who truly will speak out against corruption, unfairness from both parties, Republican, Democrat, or even, smaller parties like independents, libertarians, freaking communists, And we need more people in Congress who speak out against the establishment. And I'm looking at everybody in the government here who has been wearing a suit for,
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but why is there a homosexual on this stage? There's a Democrat, Matthew Cuomo.
Come on. Stop.
Get him off.
Get down, bud.
All right.
Holy shit.
So does that answer your question, Mr. Lee? I guess it does. Mr. Cuomo, oh my. Okay. So Mr. Cuomo, did you have a question or no?
I can answer the question.
I did have a question.
Oh yeah, you didn't get the answer.
Let me answer the previous question first. Simply to just put it, I'm going to sound really cheesy when I say this, but service to the country is why I accepted the calling. I saw that the Senate needed some competency, and heeded the call. Anyways, your question.
I know this is a bit early for this, but what are your thoughts on the upcoming midterms and your chances?
Oh Lord, that's a great question. Personally, I think we're going to do pretty great. I'm confident. We have. I believe at the moment we have 6 seats to 4. So I think it's you can only go up from here. I doubt we're going to go into the minority, but hey, we'll see what happens when we get there.
And even if we are in the minority, we will not let Senate Democrats walk on us. We'll, tell them our boundaries, and if they don't like it, they're going to face big problems during the next Congress. And that's saying if we lose the majority, which we won't. Like my favorite leader just recently said, we can only go up from here, and Senate Democrats haven't proved to the people yet. They could always, turn back around, but Senate Democrats have not shown up for their constituents. They have their leadership. Nobody knows who they are. They're irrelevant people. So, in regards to the House, that's different. Democrats could easily take the House back. However, with the new House Republican leadership, they could really turn back around and start actually working, and they may keep their majority too.
About the House, that's going to be my next question. So, basically, the current speaker who got elected, the recent House session was kind of slow. It was really slow. It wasn't really doing any progress. So, do you think, in your humble opinion, that the speaker chaos will affect the midterm election results?
Well, in my eyes, the speaker chaos has ended because Speaker Ronald McDonald did nothing but cause chaos. He was the chaos speaker. Usually it's the people speaker. No, he was the chaos Washington establishment speaker. Quite frankly, if you, I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Quite frankly, if you went back to when Ronald McDonald, that's how I call him. If you listen back to how he would preside, how he would run the House, everything was very slow. The sessions he presided over during this Congress, y'all got nothing done. That's what happened. Y'all passed no bills besides a concurrent resolution that put us in a vacation for over, not exactly 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. The House has accomplished nothing. So I really hope this leadership has it in their heart to actually do stuff for Americans. And I think that the House is in a progressing path forward to, progress just up. Can only go up, as the leader of the Senate said. So.
And if I can add to that real quickly on the House, I think in respect to the House, in all elections really, they're just really news cycle driven. So I don't necessarily think that perhaps the House Republicans are done with their chances because of some leadership issues. I just think those get ironed out really quickly and people move on to the next thing, whatever that might be, whether it's a bill or another leadership issue. But if nobody has anything else to add, thank you all for coming. Hopefully we will make this a regular thing on Thursdays at hopefully 7 p.m. Try to do those before any sessions. But thank you all for coming. Merry Christmas. We will definitely see you after the holiday, and wish you all the best.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Ooh.
I got a carol.
A carol?
I got a
What'd you
Christmas
carol?